if you think of the planet like people, and like all the creatures on the planet is like their own people group, you know, like if you believe in evolution, and every time a new group split off from the old one, or say like one had a mutation and it was just really better than the others, and then like they mated with some other ones, and then that's like they were successful in their own way, but the other ones are still successful, and so you just have like a divergence, and then they like go on, and then they're like different things after like a million years. I don't know how long it takes. Like after a million years, they're different, completely different things. Like one's a starfish and one's a monkey now. Say that. They're now completely different. After a billion years, they're like different stuff. You know, where that divergence hit, like they had a characteristic. So each one of these groups, like the starfish and the birds, they're like a people group. If you think of them as like their race or their people or their type or their kind, like with their own kind. If you think of the planet like people groups, like the trees, you know, and then they have their communities they live in. And then you think of the wheat and the tares, like, are we the tares? Like we're the planet destroyers, you know? Is God going to rip us out, put us in the barn and burn us, and the planet can be happy again and symbiotic? Is that the plan? And then our consciousnesses, like it's really like a consciousness game, and it's just like these bodies are just gross. These human bodies are like, these need to go. These ones are bad, are doing bad stuff, and like we all understand that because we've all been like grasped before, been reincarnated a billion times, like over and over. Consciousness is evolving, like expanding here, consciousness expanding here, just consciousness growing and learning and living with in peace. Are we living, is it going to just be peaceful? But like then there's like killing, like animals eating other animals and stuff. But eventually is consciousness just going to be like, we should just be a garden, we should just be trees in a forest? But even that's ruthless, because you just try to get to the top, you just try to get to be the best, to get the most light so you can get biggest, you know. It's just your way, it's just how you do it. They're all crowded in together, and some little saplings, they don't survive, you know. Infanticide with the trees. The trees engage in purposeful infanticide. They really try to kill those babies. They hate those babies. They want it all for themselves. Sometimes once they get big enough and there's a tree line, like the babies just can't survive. So like, okay, we need to like blow away to get away from all these, to get new places. Once the whole world's filled with trees, then what? Then they just kind of go extinct. I heard there was the last big extinction, mass extinction, was the trees. The trees got out of control. Like when there's too many of one thing, there's like an extinction, a mass like global extinction, when there's too many of one thing. And this person said like right now it's people, and I'm just going to ride that wave because why not? Like we're here, what else can we do about it? I can't feel guilty about that, and there's not really much else we can do. We're all here now, like what else can we do? Someone's like gonna try to kill us all to like save the planet, but like it will happen on its own. Let's just let it be organic. It's usually the best way is when it's organically solved. So if we are just consciousnesses here, like, is that what heaven is? We go back to the consciousness soup. Are we individuals, like, on a time-traveling journey, just a journey through time, a journey through just existing, just constant, pure existence, just constant existence? And we do this consciousness game as, like, a way to escape the boredom of infinity, perhaps. I've thought that a lot. But also just being an infinite, you just go on, like, until maybe the planet dies. Like, what happens? Are we tied to this planet? Is it a planetary consciousness? Or is it like just the beings on the planet? Or like a fungus? And like if the planet were to die completely or like be inhospitable for life, would like our fungus like go off into like our consciousness? Imagine it's like a fungus. Would it like separate from the earth and like fly through space to another planet to like inhabit with consciousness? Are we looking for another, you know, a partner or someone to talk to with our consciousness? It's fun to be here. I think we might. I think consciousness is life, but it's not like tied to life. I think if life were all to die on the planet, like when they're like, oh, in 20 billion years, you know, life will be impossible on planet Earth. It's like, do you think life could evolve? Like, that's your whole thing. It'll be impossible. Maybe. Have you heard of thermophiles? But maybe. I'm saying like, but because maybe the consciousness isn't tied to the life. Like maybe the life is held together by consciousness and like it's symbiotic or it is it. But then like if the planet became like yucky or we didn't want to be here, maybe the fungus would just float off into space like a big like jellyfish or anemone and just like wrap around another planet and imbibe that planet with life. You know, if it was like a Goldilocks planet, like in the right conditions, maybe we search around until we find it in the cosmos of infinity. Like why wouldn't you do that? And like if space really spreading out infinitely and we're just going to get, eventually it'll just be so far apart that it will just be like what, like where would you be then? Is it actually going to happen? I don't know. That's scary. We want to be alone, but maybe we don't. Maybe we're tired of being conscious all the time. Consciousness.